It is Wednesday.
And windy day.
And it's windy Wednesday out here in Arizona. Beautiful sunshine outside, but it's kind of chilly because it's a chilly wind, which Golden Valley, that's the way it is, you know. But today is really windy. Anyway, hope everybody is doing well. Thanks again for tuning in. We have a demo for you today, and we have a really big announcement that I think will be of help to a lot of you that we'll talk about at the end or toward the end. So here's what we're going to do. This is a piece of aromatic cedar that one of our friends actually from Tennessee sent us this a while back. I think I posted some of this on Instagram, but honestly I can't remember. But what I did is I carved a little scene in it, and this is what it looks like with the finish on it. I wish I'd have sanded it a little bit better, which I will next time. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to do another demo with this type of scene on a piece of this aromatic cedar. I love the way this stuff carves, and you guys will see that in a minute here. So what I've got is I've got another piece of this that, again, my buddy sent me, and I'll just give you an idea of what this grain looks like. This piece I wanted to save. This one actually came through with a split in it, so I had to kind of glue it up and surface it back down, but the grain in it is just spectacular. So I'm really looking forward to carving in this and seeing what that grain looks like with the finish on it. But you guys will see that. That's what our demo is today. So all I'm going to do, let me get this out of the way. All I'm going to do is just do a real quick layout. Oh, did I show this? I probably didn't.
No.
This is another little template that Vicky found and made. And so this is just a little layout template. Makes the artwork a little bit easier if you've got somebody that is a bird hunter in your immediate circle. So all I'm going to do, normally I'd lay paper down here. Huh? Yeah, oh, that's right. I've got some masking tape here. I've got a couple places on here that I don't want black to get down inside. So I'm just going to throw some masking tape over it. If you guys have any defects or anything in your board and you're doing spray layout like I'm doing here, if I was just doing this with paper, it wouldn't really matter. This one seems to be a little bit low too. But I don't want to, I want to try to avoid getting any black down into a place where I can't sand it out. The rest of these seem really good. So all I'm going to do, normally again, I would put paper down, but for this little bit, I'm just going to hold it off the end of the bench. I think my spray can is getting down low on primer. So there's our layout. Now I can pull these off so they don't get caught up on the router base. So the router base will slide nice and easy. So we're going to let this dry and we'll be right back. Alright, so we have our layout done. It's nice and dry now. Couple things I want to reiterate. I talk about this every once in a while, but I need my router base to be sliding smooth on the top of the board. So this is just a silicone spray. And you could use many different things you can use. That just happens to be what I use. You could use PAM, cooking oil, you could use furniture polish, you could use just about anything. The main thing is once you put it on the base, be sure and take off the excess so it doesn't soak into the grain of the board. Another thing that I do is the residue left from the black, it's still kind of on there, so I will just take and just lightly sand that with a piece of 220 and then take my stiff bristle brush just to make sure that there's not a lot of residue. Again, that's going to cause my router base to kind of feel sticky or anything. The other thing that I do is I take the little layout template that I'm turning it around so you guys can see it, and just to make sure in case some of those lines aren't as crisp as I need, which actually they look really good, I always have this close to me. Just anytime I do artwork on a sign, I always want to have the artwork close to me so I can refer over to that if I need it. All right, so that is that. Let's get this thing fired up and make some sawdust. I'm excited to carve this piece of Gorgeous piece of cedar. So I've got the did I talk about the bit? I've got the profile bit in, excuse me, I've got the SC50 bit in. I'm going to probably use 3 different bits on this, but the SC50 is the one that I use for cutting the really tiny stuff, like these little geese and these little blades of grass and stuff here. So I'm going to do everything that I need to do. I start with the most difficult part first, carve the super fine detail first, then from there and I've got that all done, then I'll switch over and do and put the profile bit in and cut with a wider bit, and then end up with a background bit. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to cut this all inset as a silhouette. So everything that's wood color is what I'm going to cut away. So we are just about set here. I've got the bit set at, let me check. Again, you can't go too deep with this SC50. I've got it set at a little less than 1/8 of an inch. It's more than a 1/16. So I guess about 3/32. We'll see if that's deep enough. This one's been ground a couple times, so I have a little bit, I can go a little bit deeper because it's not quite as pinpoint as it is right out the gate. So let's see what happens here. Okay.
Smells good.
Yeah, I love the way this stuff smells. All right, I think I've got everything that I really need as far as my super fine detail with my SC50. So we'll come right back with a profile bit and we'll take care of the rest of this. All right, so one thing I want to mention is when I was carving that last scene you guys saw, you saw a lot of burring up and fuzzing up. Just remember that the brush or your fingers generally can take care of that and give you a better idea of where that line is. You can see obviously now it looks fine. I didn't sand it. All I did was brush it with my brush and then or wipe it off with my hands. So if you need to do that, that's what I do. Again, you can do it the way you want to, but that's what I do. So now we have the profile bit in, and we're going to go in and do the rest of this carving, this detail carving with the profile bit. The other thing is, and I don't know for sure, but I suspect that this will carve a little bit better with the profile bit than it does with the SC50. A couple different reasons is because it's a wider cut, and because this is a 2-fluted bit, whereas the SC50 is a single fluted bit. The reason I use the SC50 is because the profile bit would have a tough time getting into these little places and be deep enough so it wouldn't sand out. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there. Here we go. Okay, so now I've cut at that depth, and you know what? I forgot to tell you guys what depth that was. Let me check it out and see. Feels like about 3/16. Yeah, pretty much about 3/16. But again, that will vary depending on, this is a bit that I've sharpened a few times, so it's always depending more on the width of the cut than it is the depth of the cut. So now I'm going to set it deeper so I can make a wider cut and go around all those places a little bit more, especially out here, so I don't have to get so close to my fine detail with my background bit. Boy, that stuff smells good. Okay, so I think I've got pretty much a wide line around everything. Again, if you guys look close at what I was doing there, I'm not cutting in the same groove. I'm cutting next to the groove, which just leaves me extra room to get around in there. So I'm going to put my cleanup bit in there, and we're going to go in and take that stuff out. Be right back. All right, so we're back. Now, normally on background, almost always I would be using the 90-degree V-groove. In this particular instance, being as I've got some pretty tight spots, I'm going to go ahead and use the 60. I just have to be aware that I have to make my circular motions smaller so that I don't end up with high spots when I go to sand it. But anyway, so I've got the 60 pretty much resides permanently in my rigid router, so I'll just use that one instead. Hey folks, just want to do a real quick voiceover here. Just remember, this 60-degree bit is not the one I normally use for this background. You can use it, but I only use it in really tight areas like this. 99% of the time I'll be using the 90-degree for background cleanup around outset letters or for inset areas bigger than this. I just like this one a little bit better for tight areas. All right, there she be. And I don't think I've got too many high spots in there. I'm looking now at it, and I'm taking down anything that could potentially be a high spot. And it looks like I've got it pretty much all taken care of. Always make sure you guys use a really good stiff bristle brush to get all that stuff out of there. You don't want it coming out after you've already sprayed it black. All right, let's get the black. Yeah, I need to mask off those same spots that I masked off before. By the way, if you guys watched that that video where Vicki and I were having a problem with the masking tape that was coming off in little bitsy pieces, wow. Little bitty pieces, and because it was old, I got a fix for that. If this stuff gets old and it comes off and it tears like this way and it doesn't tear right, throw it in the microwave for about 15 or 20 seconds. Makes it like new again. At least that's what I've been told.
I thought that's what you did.
I actually, I don't think I did that. I found out afterwards, after it was all over with. This roll seems to be okay. So again, like always, don't overspray. Even though this stuff doesn't tend to bleed, short spurts. That's it. We'll let that dry and we'll be back and sand it off. Let's sand it off. Hey guys, one more voiceover here. Just want to make sure everybody knows, in case you haven't seen me sand before, here I'm using a 40 grit belt, and this is what I use to take off about 90 to 95% of the black. After I get done with this, then I go back with my small sander, which has got a 175 grit belt on it. But if you only have a 120, that is good for your second sand as well. All right, let's see what it looks like. Okay. One little tiny high spot in there. I'll use this little sharp point. Alright, let's put a finish on it to see what it really looks like.
Look at it from the bottom.
From the bottom?
There looks like there's there.
Ooh, there is a spot in there. Good eye. I couldn't see that from my vantage point. That's the one you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Looked like he had a hole in his head.
It did.
Alright, I really should have done this at the other end so I don't spray my sleeve. But let's see what that stuff looks like with a finish. Holy moly. God, I love the way that stuff looks. Is that spectacular or what? Not the
Turn it.
carving, just the grain of the board. Turn it that way.
Yeah, even so that I can get a good comparison. All right.
I'm just putting the helmsman on it, guys, because that's what I had in my hand. But you can put the Krylon, any clear on it. You can see what happens to the grain when you put a finish on it. Spectacular
Come on,
stuff.
hold it, leave it alone. Hold it.
All right.
Hold it up just a little top, because we're getting a glare.
More?
Yeah. That way we can actually see the thing there. Okay.
All right, that is it, guys. We'll come right back, and I've got a big announcement. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you kind of learned something. There's a lot that goes into that, but it's really not that difficult. It just takes practice. So just play with that SC50 bit, play with that profile bit, or whatever bits you're using that you can get that detail, and use a series of different bits to make your line wider so that it gives you room to get in there and do your background and your cleanup. Okay, so here's the deal. That little template that I just used is on the website now, and we've got actually 4 new...
hold it up a little bit. The top one, yeah, that. No, on the board.
On the board, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 4 actually brand new layout templates. These are smaller ones. These are 350, just like our normal layout templates. But the bigger ones, like the ones in front of these here are, would you say they're 5? Mm-hmm. 5 for these, because they take like 3 times as long to cut them in the laser. So these are $5. What?
That way you can see it. You can't really see.
So this one's actually pretty big. I haven't carved this one yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So that is that's our little commercial. If you guys want these, let Vicky know, but they're on the website as of now. But what I'm really excited about is, if you lived in Arizona, or at least where I lived, there's not a lot of this around, this material. And you guys may live in an area where there isn't a lot of this stuff around. Well, I've got a source for you. And I've been working on this for a while now. But we met a couple back in when we were in Atlanta, and they're from Tennessee. Roger and Becky Bain. They have access to a mill where they can get a bunch of this stuff. And so what I'm going to do, and I've got no interest in this as far as there's nothing in it for me. I just want to pass his information on to you so you guys can contact them if you want them to, if you've got a special size or stock boards. I'm definitely going to be buying some material from him because I love this stuff. It's absolutely spectacular. And I love carving it. I love everything about it. So I'm going to be buying some of this cedar for stuff for me, for signs that I want to do, and I want to pass his information on to you guys. So again, it's Roger and Becky Bain. This is their website. This is a screenshot off of their website. So you can contact them at their website here. There'll be a contact button where you can leave them an email and get in contact with them. If you, and I can't tell you anything about prices, that's kind of between you and him. I just want to connect you guys up with Roger and Becky, and then you let them know what you're looking for and see if he can supply it for you. Again, there'll be shipping involved unless you happen to be local to, I think they're around the Nashville area, but if they are, maybe you don't need access to this. Maybe you already have access. And then there's many of you that are watching that could go right down the street and get this stuff. I can't. So I'm going to be buying some stuff from him. So I highly recommend Roger and Becky. Super great people. We had actually a lot of time with them in Atlanta. We kind of hung out with them and had several meals with them. Super nice people. I highly recommend them. If you guys are looking for some of this aromatic cedar, go check him out. And he's a woodworker too. He's not doing signs, but he has great stuff on his website. Makes furniture and toys and all kinds of different things. But I highly recommend them, especially if you're looking for some of this material. So
you're going to put the link to his.
Yeah, actually I will. I'll put the link to that website in the description below. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me on that. But anyway, great stuff. All right, so it's Wednesday, no video on Friday because we've got an LTS coming up on Saturday. Now, we did a test last Sunday with the YouTube Live, and I think we're probably going to do it with the YouTube Live. However, the real problem with that is sending questions. It comes through so fast and it fades out that you guys were asking questions during that Sunday broadcast, and it would show up for what, like 3 seconds, and then it was gone. And we had no way to answer, even read most of the questions. It was just coming so fast that we couldn't do that. So here's what I'm suggesting. Send me an email, eric@makeawoodsign.com. Put in the subject line, question for Saturday. If you put that in the subject line, then we will have a bunch of questions that we can answer on Saturday's deal. Now, I will also answer those questions personally through email, but then I'll pick some of those to actually answer on the Saturday broadcast.
We'll still try to keep up with what we can on the.
Yeah, if we can keep up with questions that you guys ask, we'll try to do that live on the broadcast.
I think I can scroll up and down and see them that way, but once that's done, then we lose them.
Yeah, we're still trying to learn this whole YouTube Live, but it actually, you guys let us know that the picture was pretty good, so we may be broadcasting YouTube Live, and I think we will still be filming it with the camera so we can broadcast it later if we need to, if the YouTube Live thing doesn't come out right. So that is about it. We'll be doing a demo, by the way. We'll be, like normal, we'll be doing a demo. It's 9 o'clock Arizona time on Saturday morning, the 31st, I believe it is. Yeah. So tune in for that, and we'll be doing it, right through YouTube, so we don't have to be Facebook friends in order for you guys to see it. If you're subscribed to the channel, it should come right up on your feed when we go live. We'll be doing a giveaway again, another one of those, although we don't have one right here, another one that Sawdust Makes Me Happy. We'll be doing another giveaway for one of those to one of our premium members. So if you guys are a premium member, we'll be giving one of those away, and we'll probably have other surprises and different things. I guess that's about it, guys. Hope you guys have a great week, and hope to see you on Saturday on YouTube Live. If you guys have, again, as always, questions about this or anything else, send me a direct email, eric@makeawoodsign.com. Huh?
You can send me an email.
And you can send an email directly to vickywithdavesigns@gmail.com. Both the links will be in the description below. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for all the support. Remember, I'm on I'm on Instagram, Make a Wood Sign. I'm posting on there every day now. If you like this, please give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We appreciate all the exposure and all the newcomers that we can get. Thanks again, and we are done. So we will see you guys, if not before, we'll see you on Saturday morning. Thanks. Have a great week. Bye-bye.